Доброго дня! Вкотре спростовуємо фейки російської пропаганди.
Good afternoon. We are once again refuting the fakes of Russian propaganda, which every day tries to lie more and more brutally, both to its own citizens and to the international community, and also to the very few Ukrainians who watch these lies on federal channels. So the most primitive fake thrown by Russian propaganda, which I can personally refute, is that American actress Angelina Jolie's visit to Ukraine was urgently organized to supposedly draw attention away from the situation in Mariupol and Azovstal. This is what the Russian federal TV channel Russia 24 reported. Here is what they write in their misleading message, I quote, Angelina Jolie's visit to Lviv was arranged to distract attention from the situation at Azovstal in Mariupol, where nationalists are holding civilians hostage. Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mariia Zakharova considered this. That is, the official representative of the diplomatic institution of a nuclear state is simply lying to the whole world. I can assert that her visit took place at the initiative of the American actress herself. Such lies at such a high level prove once again that it is impossible to believe Russia, the Russian authorities. Even at the official level, Russia is ready to say the black is white. And the reason for this lie in case of Angelina Jolie is only because, thanks to her visit, the world community has drawn attention to the atrocities and crimes committed by the Russians on Ukrainian territory. Angelina Jolie is an iconic figure for the world, including citizens of major partner countries of Ukraine. Accordingly, the citizens of these countries, when they hear the truth about the Russian atrocities, they react accordingly and declare their intentions to their politicians to support Ukraine. Accordingly, this is how diplomacy works at the level of the world's leading recognizable faces, and Russia has lost in this case once again, because the truth about their crimes becomes known to ordinary citizens of foreign countries. But let's move on. We're not just talking about these liars today.
Але поїхали далі. Не тільки про цих брехунів сьогодні говоримо, а ще один вкид.
Another threw-in from Russia 24. That apparently, I quote, Ukraine definitely abandoned the residents of the Kherson region by turning off their mobile communications. This is a lie. Ukraine did not turn off mobile communications for the Kherson region. This connection has disappeared due to the destruction of infrastructure as a result of hostilities unleashed by Russia itself. In order to control the local population, Ukrainian mobile communications were turned off, and Russia ones were connected. This is an attempt at control, even at the level of information exchange between people on social media, because the Kherson region did not surrender to Russia, and the resistance movement is at a grassroots level. And the Russian propaganda calls it the malicious actions of the Ukrainian government itself. This is a lie. Instead, Russian propaganda itself is in a crisis of the genre, and they are trying to promote the story of glorification of one of the Ukrainian grandmothers who went out to meet the occupiers with a red flag, although in fact in this village there were Ukrainian armed forces who brought her food rations. Accordingly, they promote this myth about this grandmother on all their federal channels without having other so-called heroes among Ukrainians who are ready to accept the occupiers. They found this character who did not even go out with the Russian flag, but with the Soviet flag. This crisis of the genre proves once again that Ukrainians do not welcome Russian invaders on our soil. The Ukrainians have to invent myth in order to take their domestic propaganda at least refer to someone. By the way, in order to somehow add so-called vivacity to these propaganda stories, top propagandist Solow arrived in occupied Mariupol. For some reason, he did not walk around the city without a bulletproof vest and helmet, although it is not the first week that the Russians claim that they control everything in this city and have completely encircled the so-called nationalists, as they used to lie, at the Azovstal iron and steel works. Solow is standing outside the Ilyich iron and steel works. This is a completely different enterprise. And it seems that according to his own propaganda statements, everything was fine there. But for some reason he is standing in a bulletproof vest and helmet, while his interlocutor without helmet. Another throw-in was made by one more top-level propagandist, Russian liar Kots, a Komsomolskaya Pravda correspondent known in Ukraine for his throw-in about members of the so-called Wagner group. Kots publishes a video where he claims that air defenses shot down Ukrainian Bayraktar drones in the Liman direction. What is the lie? The lie is that according to the Russian version, they destroyed all the Ukrainian Bayraktar drones long ago. They reported the destruction of the next to last Ukrainian Bayraktar back in March. Then, last week, they said they destroyed Ukrainian Bayraktar drones over Russia. This week, they reported that they shot down 3 Bayraktar drones over the Snake Island, and now they are destroying more Bayraktar drones over Liman. So they are already confused by their own lies. They cannot even say how many Ukrainian Bayraktar drones they have already destroyed, if they continue to destroy, lying about this to their citizens, but the weapons do not disappear. You need to be more skillful in mathematics, Russian liars, propagandists. And in addition, the traditional fake which has been circulating in Russian propaganda sources for 2.5 months about a supposedly biological weapon that they found on the territory of Ukraine. Russia Today reports, I quote, "The investigative committee has established a circle related to military biological activities in Ukraine, including representatives of the Pentagon." This was stated by a representative of the investigative committee Bastrykin to Russia Today. Since 2005, the US has funded biological programs in Ukraine. This lie has once again been told by the state representatives of Russia, the investigating authorities. They do not hesitate to tell lies even to the officials, not just propagandists like Solow and Kots. This lie was refuted by Russian chemists and biologists themselves. Not a single biological weapon on the territory of Ukraine was developed by Ukrainians, nor by Pentagon, nor by the State Department and other representatives of the United States. And these are all the versions they have thrown into the media space one by one, even though they contradict each other. Friends, maintain critical thinking, trust the Ukrainian armed forces, the Ukrainian official media, and the Ukrainian political leadership. Take care of yourself.